my vlogs of 7 video. I have to do that. I have to do my vlogs of 7 video today. It's Tuesday after all. Stardate. Crap. Hi. Okay, so Dylan asked me on Sunday what it's like to work at a pet store, and I could go into a long, drawn-out story about what it's like to work at a pet store. Pet stores are really fun to work at, especially if you work in the department that I work at. I worked at 2 pet stores. I worked at a little family-owned store when I was going to college, and then I moved down here and I started working for a corporate pet store. I work in the pet care department of the pet store that I work at. The first pet store I worked at, I just did everything. I did pet care, I did customer service, I did all kinds of things like that. When you work in pet care, you actually work with the animals. You are taking care of them, you are feeding them, you are making sure that they are clean, you are making sure that they are well, and if they are not well, you are bringing them to the vet, and if they are brought to the vet and brought back with medicine, you bring them, you put the medicine in their body. Whether that be by shots, which I've honestly never done. Have I ever done an injection? I don't think I have. Maybe when I worked at the pet center, I did an injection like once. But I usually do oral injections, oral medicine. Yep, I'm cool. I actually found out I was allergic to one of the medicines that we use. So I'm like decked out in personal protective equipment at work whenever I'm doing anything in that room, in what we call either the isolation room or the quiet room, which is where animals go if they get sick or injured or things like that. Because that happens when you have a bunch of animals together. They're just like having a bunch of people together. It's con plague. And so sometimes they get upper respiratory or other problems, and you gotta fix that. So let me just break down a day. So, okay, let's say we're opening. We get to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. We get to work and we have to make sure that all animals are fed and healthy and happy. So usually the way I do it now is I go into the back where the fish system is. We have a connected system, so like every single tank except for the feeder tanks, every single tank is connected to one another. So we go in, I have to change the filter, and I have to make sure that the system is working properly and that the system is full, and I do all kinds of things. I have to put the sodium thiosulfate, which is the dechlorinator, in the sumps, both sumps, the main system sump and the Comet sump. This means nothing to you. Moving forward. And then I think about which cleaning day it is, because most days come with a cleaning day. Usually cleaning bedding is what I mean. Whether it be bird bedding, which is what I do every Monday morning, which wears on me. If I'm working today, it would be small animal bedding. If I worked tomorrow, it would be the new arrival and isolation room bedding. Thursday is fish day, so Thursday is when we get our fish shipment in, and Friday is when we have chosen to do our reptiles, because technically the reptiles are supposed to do it on Thursday. But because we get our fish shipment in on Thursday, we do them on Friday. Saturday and Sunday are kind of boring days. They're just regular opening, making sure everybody's happy and healthy days. We have cats at the store, and my store is one of the stores that actually has to take care of the cats instead of having the people who care for the cats, who are actually the people who own the cats, come in and take care of them. So, I mean, that's the morning. A mid-shift is when you do what's called tank-wise, and you make sure that all the tanks are happy and healthy and pretty. You scrub off all the algae, you make sure that all of the ornaments in the tank are clean, and you also need to make sure that the lock lines are working, which is where the new water comes in. So that's how the filtration system works, is it goes in through the the intake, and then it goes through the system, and then it comes back out through the lock line, and so that's where they get their oxygen, is where they get their clean water, and if they're not working, then they can't breathe. So that's a problem. So that's a mid-shift, and then closing shift is basically an opening shift without the cleaning stuff, and you just make sure that everybody, again, is happy and healthy. Some animals are fed at night, some are not. Kind of depends. If the dish is empty, they are fed, basically. My least favorite part about working at a pet store, I would have to say, is some of the customers that come by. And I'll be honest, I probably was one of them. Well, I was one of them. When I was a kid, I was the stupid little kid who knew nothing, and my parents were the stupid parents who just want to shut up their kid to buy them a pet. But because of that, I was able to create this immense passion in my life for animals, and this immense passion of taking care of them. And I wouldn't have any of the animals that I have right now if it wasn't for the research that I've done. So that's what it's like to work at a pet store. If you guys have any specific questions, I can certainly answer those for you. But yeah, working at a pet store is a lot of work. It's not just sit down and play with the animals all day. It is a lot of work, a lot of lifting, a lot of moving things around, and a lot of poop. I get paid to get covered in poop, essentially, is my job.